My name is Marie-Céline Diallo, and I am Minister for Youth, Sports and Family from Republic of Seychelles. My understanding of FAWE, we do have a chapter in Seychelles. We've had a chapter in Seychelles for a while. So we're familiar with FAWE in Seychelles, and this conference is about transforming girls' education, particularly in Africa. And the importance of this conference to me attending, it's because previously I attended a conference for the World Bank telling Africa that Africa has the largest population of young people in the world, and that will continue for years to come. So, because education is a very powerful tool, it really is important for the future of the world. And I think this conference is very important because it's talking about half of that population of young people, and young people, they carry the torch for the future. They carry the torch for the present, but they carry the torch for the future. And when you have majority of young people on this continent, so it makes sense for FAWE to organize an event that talks about half of that population, which is girls' education, but also because FAWE does not exclude the boys from their conversation. So to me, this is important because we are not just talking about the future of Africa, we're talking about the future of the world. Coming from Seychelles, where education is free and it's readily accessible, it's been accessible for a long time. My focus and my definition of education is different. I am more interested in the non-formal education that we talk about, because in Seychelles, even when we do have a free education, access is not an issue for both boys and girls. We end up now with a society whereby we have issues with social ills, we have issues within families, we have issues with domestic violence. So I'm thinking maybe there is something that we missed with educating for both boys and girls. And we will need for advocacy for prevention education so that, so that young girls can better understand their value and their worth, because we're still having problems of teenage pregnancies. So we need to redefine what education really is in the 21st century and beyond, because I think it needs a lot more than just learning to read and write and getting degrees and having intellects. I think it goes beyond that, and it goes beyond as well creativity and innovation, so that young people can have an education for them to solve today's world problems, but also tomorrow's problems. So if we do not change the education system, if we do not, formal, but also if we do not redefine, for example, parental education for the parents, because a lot of parents, for example, now they do not know how with technology advancement, how do they cope with parenting at home. So that includes all of that, but also for communities and for societies to put more emphasis on prevention, preventive education and advocacy, rather than just the traditional form of education. Probably two messages. One is Africa. African sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, let us take ownership of our own problems and let us stop looking outward for the solutions. We have got to start looking inwards in Africa for the solutions, because I am certain Africa is very creative, innovative, and then we need to come up with our own solutions. And today we talk about girls' education. We need to come up with our own African solution for Africa. That is my one message. So it takes a whole village, it takes a community, and even when most people think African to do something, you absolutely need a donor. You need an external donor. We don't need a donor to come to our homes, to our community, to tell the girl child that she is worthy, that she is of value, that she needs to take care of her body better, her health better. We don't need a donor to do that. So I'm saying, and we used to value life a lot more in Africa. And I think that we need to go back to that. My second would be for us to put a lot more emphasis, Africa, on prevention. And rather, I see the trend now developing with the rules, with the policies, especially for government, to have what I would call tokenism. So if you say in parliament, in cabinet, you would need to have 50%, 50%. To me, this is sort of like tokenism. I would rather have on prevention, but also on advocacy, so that you would, the girls and the women would want these leadership positions. They would go for it, and they would actually redefine it and then make it women friendly, because the man can't make societies friendly for women leaders. Women have got to make it friendly for ourselves. So it is for us to have more advocacy of these kind of education, of these kind of programs. So this is the messages that I would have for Africa. As governments all over Africa, they've got a budget every year. So this is where we need to be bold and be brave and put money in the budget for education. In Seychelles, education is the ministry that gets the bigger chunk of the budget every single year, apart from the COVID year that went for Ministry of Health. But this is something that governments, I would urge all African governments to take into consideration. I do understand there are other priorities, but education is the key. And I think we are a little bit reluctant to put resources in education, because you do not get the impact until after a couple of years. So, it takes you 10 years, 15 years to put somebody through education for you to be able to see a return on that investment. So it's sort of, I understand with politics, politicians, they have to win elections and they have to show, it's easier to showcase a building and an infrastructure that you can build 2 years, 3 years, and then win the next election. But I think we need to have some sacrifices made, and like advocacy and education, that people, the voters, can understand that a government that puts majority of the funding for education is a government that needs re-election.